Hey everyone out there, how are ya? You're looking at a very overworked and tired uh, exercise instructor today. Anyways, I'm wrapped in my blanket because it's weird. I come home and it's warm, and after I settle in for like 5 minutes, it gets cold. So I wonder what attachments are around me. um, Anyways, I'm gonna apologize because I have my little hiccups that come through. I wonder if it's acid reflux. Anyways, um, so I dug a hole, and I'm going to have to not backpedal because I started something and I have to get through it. And instead of making a video where I'm sharing what knowledge I've either downloaded, channeled, or read, I want to give you guys. What's that? I want to give you guys. I want to share with you guys where my mind is and what I need to do. So, I had this book that I wanted to share with everyone. It's called Shambhala, and I realized I spelled it wrong in my last video, but it's the sacred path to the warrior. And I was thinking Shambhala. It's in the Hinduism department. There's this video called The Wanderer, which is the parables of Jesus. And then I came across Ashera Goddess's video by coincidence. It was asking, well, she was questioning out loud, was or is Jesus a fallen angel? And she went through this whole thing about the death and why really wasn't death and why he rose again. And to sum it up, he would had to been a meta being or a being of another origin of the source. This is all according to the esoteric perspective. I choose not to study esoteric. I usually try to stay in the Gnostic text because, but who knows who's right or wrong? So I just said, why don't I just go into the perspective of listening to my opposition or listening to the perspective that I never really paid attention to. And then all this is kind of leading to why Shambhala was led to me and why it's important for me to, from this day forward, kind of go into my own path of guiding myself to understanding why are we being led up to May 20th and 21st and 22nd. There is a crossroad and there is a opening, and I think it has a lot to do with Shambhala. It's a lot of information. This is a lot, and if you guys are confused or think this is too much information or it's outside of your wheelhouse or it takes you away from your system, I believe, anchor yourself back to what you find comfortable and what you do understand. I have no way, shape, or matter wanting to teach people out of what their comfort level is. It's not my job to put you out of boundaries. But if you want to check out Ashera Star Goddesses, she did a live stream. It's 2 hours long, and I actually just watch 30 minutes at a time. I do 30 minutes, and then I go do my job, then another 30 minutes during lunch, and then so it all kind of ties in and makes sense. And it also makes sense why I am delivering messages of wisdom. So There's a lot of synchronicity. So here's where I am. I was really going to go into sharing the books that I had, um, Growing into Light, which takes the messages from Shambhala to where you would see, where you would know, what is that? The Polynesian mythologies. They call this the secret science. And also in China, they call this the Sun Tzu, Art of War. Why is all this significant? And was there a connection to creating the wisdom warrior? What was the blood about? What was the flesh about? And what was ascension to this place all about? Now I think I have enough pieces to why growing into light was significant for. Oh, it's a lot of information. But Ashera Star Goddess's information will blow your mind. So here's where my mind is right now. I'm trying to hold this still. So let's just put Sham and let's put Saturn. Because she brought up something that I was like, ew. Let's see if I get this right. 4, 5, 6. I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did too many, but you guys know what a hexagon is, right? It has eight corners. Or we know the pentagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's it. My bad. So it's 5 corners, I'm sorry. And the only reason why they would call that a pentagram or whatnot is because when you put it in a 3-dimensional form, a third density, it becomes a cube. So, in Mecca, they have this black cube, and the people spiral around it all the time. So let's say this is Saturn, right? And at the very top of Saturn, as though it were a plane below and a tower that sits above, like a kingdom, heaven on earth type situation, you have this situation. Shambhala and earth, let's say if this were not a ball, but let's say this were a disc, right? And somewhere on a meta, what did I say that was? Meta-dimensional? This place can be attained and achieved or whatnot. You can't see it in third, fourth, 5th. You have to be on 9D, 11, or 12. From what I channeled, it's the higher densities. Those who were the fallen angels were, if you were to say they were casted out and they went over here, learned and studied wisdom, then they were like, oh, there's these chicks over there. Then they went and they studied this knowledge in order to get back here. So that's the theory that I have, is that there's this whole journey of, sorry, I'm seeing orbs. I'm seeing cool orbs in my apartment. There's this journey of, like, let's say there was the Almighty, right? The sun, or whatever you want to call it. And they were all kicked out. And they went to place number 1A. Studied, learned all this knowledge, and then had inbred breeding with their offspring, creating offspring in order to achieve the ascension process to get to Shambhala. So whether it's good, bad, evil, or light, I don't know. So that's the understanding of this whole perspective. Now, to my channeled message, these people who have this engineering system, let me turn my TV down. Dennis Rodman shoplifting. Another distraction, y'all. So, to my understanding, I think this is the reason why there's only 144,000. Why that number is significant, because there's only the blood of these 144,000 that are a part of this whole art of war, path to the sacred warrior. So therefore, if shit hits the fan type situation, these will only be the only amount of warriors who gotten through all of this throughout the let's say the 6,000 years process, and it all led to the last bloodline of these people. So what Ashera, Star Goddess's message was in the esoteric system. I'll just finish. She was saying that from the book of Enoch, it explains that there was the fallen, and they all made their own conscious choices. Some want to stay on Earth, so X, Y, and Z. She was saying that this is hard to explain, but I already started talking in my last video, and I must continue to kind of explore where I kind of want to figure this out. But if he's saying, drink my blood, take of my flesh, X, Y, and Z, it kind of was like do this, at your Last Supper, because, all of us are going to be destroyed or killed. Take this knowledge and whoever makes it or whoever has children will complete this process of this system. And those who got through, let's say the 12 disciples made it through to this area, they got the path to Shambhala, the ascension process, the actual real ascension process. And those offspring are the 144,000. And like I said, I don't follow that belief system, but understanding it allowed me to see and bridge a gap somewhere. This is just where my mind is. It's part channeled and part my questions out loud. Because we know that the Egyptians worship the sun, but we know the color of their skin, right? There goes the horns. And then we know the Khazars and other beings had lighter skin. So the question is, why would they want to rule out and make slaves out of those who were colored in Egypt? Because if they had inbred themselves, integrated their bloodlines with this system, so there was something about what they called melanated people. I don't know if anyone can resonate with this, or if you can comment and help me out. This is a rabbit hole. So melanated people are not white-skinned. So in the Shumash, or what is that? Ooh, shame on me, Aaron. In the Hopi Indian prophecy, sorry about that. They talked about the White Brotherhood. That will be these folks over here. We'll just put WB. So the White Brotherhood, the star beings or whatnot, perhaps they were trying to help assist these folks through the ascension process, because they were not ascending because they were fallen. They were the children of the fallen. Shambhala is like, it's a plane or a dimension or a astral plane, if you may, where when you gain that certain level of energy, plasma, DNA upgrades, they try to say keep your kundalini clean and clear. No alcohol, no drugs. Some people think without meat. Some people think, oh, vegan, vegetarian. So I hope I have enough memory on my phone to do this whole video. So let's say you have a pineal gland, right? Melatonin from your pineal gland travels down your spine. It hits your sacral chakra and it makes a trip back up. This is according to astrotheology, which is another system that I don't like to follow, but I pay attention to what they had to say. So long story short, they think everybody can have this process and gain ascension. Or a lot of people would call this rapture or caught up. So basically, this is a huge rabbit hole. So according to what Ashera's info said was that 90% of the earth is water, right? I'm almost done with this video. And if 90% are these beings who are melanated, have liquid, when they rise or ascend, it will leave this earth plane completely. This is according to the Book of Enoch too. That it will leave this whole earth plane flat and dry. So there's a lot of things that point and lead to colored people. And also too, in your blood or DNA, you never know. You can't just judge by the skin. But also by faith too. If you really believe that, this is where words of wisdom comes in. If you really believe that this is a bunch of nonsense and baloney, and you believe that you've done so much in your life's journey and your soul deserves to be this, I really do believe that souls can be mutable. You can co-create, right? So when this process happens, you can create an alter, I don't know, not alter reality, but you can merge your timeline with this ascension process. That's where I was wanting to get at was we shouldn't have to fear these different systems, and because all systems lead to teaching you that you shouldn't follow systems. Because the systems were there to only teach those who were not aware that they were fallen to understand what happened. And those of us who are truthers and we speak the wisdom and we know these things, this has nothing to do with us. We already go somewhere. We're already destined to go somewhere. So that's where I really wanted to go with this message. Now, the last part of what I wanted to say was May 20th. Excuse me, I have hiccups. I think I said the 19th as well. So if I were to do the math, 5, 9, we're just put 3 because 2019 comes out to 12. 1 and 2 makes a 3. This makes a 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we were to go 5 plus 10 plus 3 makes 18. You have a 9. So May 19th makes a 9, essentially, because you're doing all the math. The 20th, doing all the numbers across the board, it all makes a common root of 1. the 21st. I have to do the math for this one. So you have 5 and 6 plus 1 makes 11, right? Yeah, 6 and 5 makes 11. So because I'm seeing these numbers and then 22, let's see what that does. 3 and 3 is 6, 7, 8. 8 and 5 makes 13, right? 4. So you know that there's no action on the 22nd. But you're seeing that there's a 9, a 1, and 11. Or if you want to do 1 and 2, whatever. But I'm seeing 11 and a 9, which to me tells me there is a loophole, which portals, stargates, astrogates could happen between 1920 and 21. And it's the only time that we would have this pattern come up for a very long time. So I think there is maybe a path, an opening, if you're really in your ascension process, if you really are channeling, if you really are at the A game of, like, you're in the completion process of that sacred warrior, that we enter this Shambhala temple. I'll just make a little. Dun-dun-dun. Let's put lotus petals on it. Let's put a. So I think only in our dream state. Let's put some clouds. I don't know if the drawing makes sense. Let's just say it's in the sky, right? That maybe in our dream state. I need water. People start going here because there's an opening thought process. So just a theory. Whew, I'm glad I got through that. That was a lot of information. I know you guys are probably like, what? But if you need to go back and watch it all over again, it'll make more sense. And watching Ashera's video, it does stretch your mind open. There was a lot of things at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to believe that. And there was things that I was introduced to that I didn't know. But I was understanding why there's a lot of rappers, black artists, black entertainers, hosts of shows being black. There's something about the DNA and the purpose of having, it's kind of like a mockery of what people know and to utilize. And then there was like some allegations of why certain entertainers adopt certain colored children. So this was the part where I was like getting more angry, like, ugh, I hate uncovering truths. I hate listening to truths that are that in-depth and agitating, but in some way, shape, or matter, everything that we've been guiding ourselves with lead to this. We have to know, or else why go this far? Why get this far? And you guys know the date that I set. Why would it get to this depth if it means that you're just supposed to enjoy your ascension process? Like, everyone's to learn what ascension is. Only few get through. Only a few are mutable. So that's all I really wanted to share with everybody, was that this is a bigger piece of the puzzle, and we just barely dented the surface. There's a lot more to this, so let me know what you guys think. And like I said before, some things I don't agree, but the truth is the truth. I don't like to be correct all the time. Some people might disagree, but it's really about how we bridge the understanding of different things. So, not the happiest video I've shared, not the most confident video I've posted, but let's just see what happens. I'm hopeful and I care about everybody, so I think it takes certain people and beings to really pierce through those veils to really extract the information. But yeah, those names of people, I was like Buddha, Inca, Yahuwah, everyone has the AH ending. So they would have had to been a certain color, a certain tribe, a certain practice in order to get to Shambhala and then try to bring that knowledge back down. So perhaps is the story confused? Are they not fallen? Are they just descendants from Shambhala? And because we always think fallen angels are evil or they were banned because they did something wrong. But what if they made an ascension process to Shambhala and then descended to do this whole thing? This is where we're at right now. Learning our truth, learning our true identity. Anyways, I said enough. Take care, everybody. Look, I gotta trim my gray hairs. No. Bye.